Alright, so today's video is a little different. Today I'm going to be talking about gear, and specifically I'm going to be talking about how we manage transport of the scooter. If you're not interested in the technical details of connecting a trailer and mounting things on the trailer and making sure that they stay secure, then this is not the video for you. And go find one you'll enjoy. However, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. So first thing, you'll notice when you look at the tongue of the trailer, this piece right here is referred to as the tongue, that it has a latch with a lock on it. That prevents somebody from pulling up, putting their trailer, or putting our trailer on the back of their van or truck or whatever, and driving away with it. I don't really worry about it too much at my house, but it's a place to keep the lock so that when we do need it, I can find it. So the first thing you got to do is you're going to have to unlock that tongue. And once you've unlocked it, you're going to have to lift the latch. Now, this trailer is not particularly heavy, so it's actually pretty easy to just lift it and manually connect it to the van. Once you've dropped the tongue onto the hitch, you've got to lower this. You got to kind of lift it up, and then it doesn't really want to go like it did when it was brand new, but if you just kind of push it down until that latch clicks under there, then you can put the padlock back on it. Let me set this up over here. Put the padlock back on it. Now, it is locked in place, and an individual can't just disconnect it. So that way, if we have to leave the trailer somewhere connected to the van, somebody can't steal our trailer while we're out scooting. Now you'll see, if you look, there's a little loop right here. And there's another one on the other side. This is a safety retainer for when we're on the road. And you can see it's got a little clip, so you just clip it in there. That way, if something were to happen and it come off the latch, these chains will still pull the trailer, so it won't drop the trailer in the road and hit something. Obviously, if that were to happen, we would have to stop immediately, but, you know, it's a safety thing, and it's good to have. The last step on the trailer is we have to connect the electrical. Now here's the thing, if you look at how long this is, you can see that that would drag the ground. So what I do is I come around the tongue, and then you can see it just plugs in, 3 on one side, 1 on the other. Boom, it's connected, nothing is dragging. Occasionally the chains will drag the ground when you go over rough ground or something, but for the most part that works good. Okay, so everything's lined up and ready to go. Now I need to drop the tailgate. Which forms a ramp. Now, there's 2 ways we can drive the scooter up on there. I can do it I can back it on and drive it off, or I can drive it on and back it off. Normally, I back it on and drive it off. Today, I'm going to do the reverse And the reason is there's an extra step that I want to make sure that you see. So let me go get the scooter and get her ready. Now when you pull it on here, you want to get it as close as possible. The extra step comes right here. So you can see that if I were to try and close this now, it would hit the cargo. So what I need to do is I need to drop the seat. On the left-hand side, there's a lever. Drop that forward, and now I can close this without a problem. However, we're not ready to do that yet. Cargo lock box is where I keep the ratchet straps. I've already taken them out. However, the key for that is the same as the key for the tongue, which is convenient, keeps me from having to keep track of two keys. So now we're going to attach the ratchet straps that hold the scooter in place in case the road is bumpy, or if there's an accident, it will keep the scooter from being thrown and becoming a projectile. When I do this, I always work from one side or the other. In this case, I'm going to be on the left side of the trailer, and I'm going to take the short side of the ratchet strap, and I'm going to put it around this side's support and just connect it to itself. You could theoretically connect it to these, but these are not as sturdy as these. And again, if we're talking about an accident, then we want to be careful and make sure it's on something strong. These are also forward of the axle. So if you look in here, I'm not sure how well this is going to show up, you can see these strut supports. And I take and I run it through them, and then try and get a little extra and just kind of throw it over there so I can grab it from the other side. Got to make sure there's enough slack. Come around there, hook it in. And I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to use the very last support. And the reason I chose those supports is one is in front and the other is behind the wheels. And so when they are tightened, they work against each other. Now up under here, again, this is kind of hard to see, there is a bar. Hopefully you can see that. And then you just go over the bar and again connect it around the very last support. Always go over so that gravity works with you. Now that those are in place, we can tighten up the ratchet straps. See that these pull it forward while these pull it backwards, so they're countering each other. That helps keep it from moving back and forth. You can see that this gap actually opened up, and that's because I tightened the back side first, which pulled it back. If I tightened the front side first, it would have actually pulled it forward and potentially been making contact, which we want to avoid. At this point, the only thing we have left to do is close the tailgate. and we are ready for transport. That trailer is going to stay attached to the van, and the scooter is going to stay attached to the trailer. So now we go scooting. Once we get to our scoot location, we have to do one or two things. Item one that has to happen is obviously the scooter has to come off. And to do that is basically the reverse of everything that we just did to put the scooter on. The second thing that may need to happen is if we don't have a parking spot where we can park both the trailer and the van together, we may have to disconnect them. So, and of course, if we have to do that, when we're done, we have to reconnect it and put the scooter back on. You always want to connect and disconnect the trailer when it's unloaded, because it's too heavy otherwise. I might be able to move it with the scooter on it right now, but the scooter is back heavy, so if I disconnect it, the trailer may just flip up, and that would be no good. So regardless, at this point, I'm going to show you how to unload the scooter and then how to unload the trailer, and that will be it for this video. So let's start with the unloading process. Like I said, it's basically just the reverse of what we did. So one important step that I forgot to mention is you want to make sure before you move the scooter that the directional button is in the correct direction. That is forward, that is backwards. If I were to put it in forward, I would bump into that. You also want to make sure that it's at half speed, because you don't want to be going too fast. Once the scooter is unloaded, you'll want to secure the ratchet straps. Normally, when we're out scooting, I don't put them in the box. It's easier just to throw them in the van. That way they're more readily available when the time comes to reload the scooter. Secure the tailgate. Disconnect the safety hooks and the electrical. That one takes two hands. Unlock the padlock. Lift the latch. And now you can lift this off. I usually try and do the latch right away so that I can put the lock back on immediately. And you can see that once it's latched, you can't sit it on the trailer hitch anymore. So that's our process. Loading and unloading the scooter and connecting and disconnecting the trailer. I probably need to put a little WD-40 on that lock because it's a little stiff, as well as on the latch. But other than that, it's pretty simple. It's a very basic trailer. It does the job. So thank you all. You have a blessed day.